This is Lagos, Africa's largest city. It is located in western Nigeria, which is Africa's largest economy, and it is regarded by many as the business hub of Africa. But it has a major problem. The city is overwhelmingly overpopulated and people are suffering. To put it in perspective, the city houses over 15 million people on a significantly small piece of land, and this causes a large percentage of the population to experience poverty, lack of amenity, lack of proper healthcare, and unimaginably long traffic jam. And it's funny because the reason too many people settled or relocated to Lagos was for the exact opposite. In this video, we'll be looking at why Lagos is dangerously overpopulated. Hey guys, it's Favor Rems. How in a day? I know this video is a bit different from the videos I usually make on this channel, but I'm just experimenting on a new series. This video is actually something I researched and found interesting, and I really hope you guys enjoy it, my Lagosians and Nigerians out there. What you are looking at is a chart showing clearly how the growth of Lagos has skyrocketed over the years, and from it we know for certain that prior to 1970, the population of Lagos was relatively low and stable. So what happened? There are 5 reasons for the spike in population growth, but I'll start with the most obvious: immigration. It just so happens that the 1970s was the period of Nigeria's oil boom. This was a period where the naira's value in the foreign exchange market was significantly strengthened by oil exports. During this period, Lagos, being the capital of the country at that time, housed the major seaport, and because of the state's proximity with it, a lot of business and financial opportunities arose. This naturally led people into relocating to the area. I mean, we've all heard the saying that money day Lagos. Many of the major Nigerian industries started in Lagos for this reason. Nollywood, Afrobeat, NTA, broadcasting networks, Nigerian media, and so many others all began in Lagos. I mean, most of Nigerian celebrities like Wizkid, Asake, Oxlade, Korede, and so many others all began their careers in Lagos. Even till date, because of the strategic nature of the state, most upcoming Nigerian entrepreneurs and media personalities relocate to Lagos after gaining some momentum. Naturally, this rush into the state in search of success led to the population increasing tremendously, because everyone wants to be in the vicinity of where big things are happening, which is the second reason for the population spike, and that is the concentration of established industries. Now, did you know that almost all major companies and brands in Nigeria have their headquarters in Lagos? Dangote Group, Nestle Nigeria, Globalcom, Unilever, just to name a few, are all situated in Lagos. Even some of the best hospitals like Lagon Hospital, Ikoyi, St. Nicholas, and Ekwe Hospital are all located in Lagos. Mere looking at this, you won't be surprised at why people leave other states in Nigeria to come to Lagos, because it has a high concentration of superb facilities. And I also like to mention that people are drawn to Lagos because the closeness of some of these brands, companies, and industries greatly improves their lifestyle. I mean, imagine you live in a place where most brands first launch any of their products. You are bound to live a soft lifestyle by implication. But that's only if you have money, and this inflated lifestyle is what causes the third reason of the population spike, which is high sex life. Now, it is well known that Lagos is the place to party, have fun, and become a prostitute, both male and female. In fact, I think the word Olosha and Ashawo was invented in Lagos. Like, people who live there really love engaging in sex. I mean, most of the breakups and sexual escapades we hear online are from Lagos, and all this produces a whole lot of new people who will also grow up to become showers themselves. That's only one of the caveats of the citizens' inflated lifestyle. When you are surrounded by concerts, parties, monies, music, booze, that's usually what happens. And excessive sexual activities, if not controlled, keeps building upon the population crisis, which is reason number 4, and that is lack of policies to control birth rates by the government. Birth rate policies are policies that enable the government cap the number of children a couple can bear. Now, I know that sounds somehow, but if this is enacted in a state like Lagos, then citizens are now obligated by law to open leg and pull down trousers wisely, in turn drastically reducing excessive childbirths and overpopulation. But unfortunately, these policies are deficient in Lagos, and when birth is unregulated, it leads to what I call experimental childbearing, which is the 5th reason for the overpopulation crisis: uninformed childbearing amongst the poor masses. It is common knowledge that the majority of Lagosians live in abject poverty. I mean, musicians like Wizkid talk about coming from the ghettos in Lagos in his songs. There are places like Makoko, which is literally a floating slum filled with poor people from the same Lagos. So you won't be surprised that everyone who suffers from poverty is looking for a way out. One of the ways most families decide to do this is through childbirth. Some families believe that the more children they have, the more likely that they will give birth to one that will be successful in future. They are basically playing the lottery with their children. Now, whether or not this works out for some people, it is besides the point. The fact is that the end result is the same. Most families, in their quest for a destiny child, end up with a plethora of unfortunately unwanted children, which is kind of sad and annoying at the same time, but you can't really blame them. Another issue that leads to this excessive childbearing is that most poor and even some wealthy couples bear an unbelievably large amount of children. In many cultures and tribes that are practiced in a metropolitan city like Lagos, it is believed that only a male child can inherit and continue the lineage of a family, which is kind of sad, but is the reality for so many people. So now we know all that causes this population spike. Are there even any solutions? Well, from my personal research, I found 3 solutions that can help at least reduce the population crisis to a manageable reasonable degree. The first way to curb the crisis is the incentivization and supply of free contraceptives and contraceptive education to the masses. I mean, it's self-explanatory. It is almost impossible to control what people do with their bodies, but you know what you can control? That's right, the outcome of those ventures. Babies. Now, people already use these incentives all around the country, especially in Lagos. But the problem is that there's a stigma that surrounds the whole sex stuff, even when most people do it, and it prevents them from learning how to have safe and controlled sex. And this shouldn't be so. Even couples who are about to get married or are already married don't have profound information on these incentives, which is the second way to curb the population crisis: the incentivization of family planning. Now, by definition, family planning is the strategic decision made by a couple on how many children they wish to have. Funny enough, most families here in Nigeria, especially in Lagos, feel that children are a gift from God, which is true, and so therefore the amount they shall have is all part of God's plan, totally removing all accountability from themselves and their actions. This is a flawed way to approach childbearing, because obviously no conscious action is taken. It is no different from saying I won't work for food. If I eat or not, it is up to God, which is just lazy and divine blaming. I made up that word now. But I won't deny the fact that majority of the population who are unemployed can't help but think this way, because they literally have nothing else to do aside from engage in sexual activity, which leads us to the third solution to the population crisis, which is creation of employment opportunities for the poor masses. Now, I know this is easier said than done, but imagine a situation where a majority of the population is employed. People will not even have time to reproduce. After work, traffic jam. After traffic jam, straight to sleep. No, but seriously, studies have shown that unemployment is directly linked to population spike. I mean, if you look at countries like India, you would actually know what I'm talking about. All said and done, this video is not a video bashing the Lagos government or administration. Rather, it's an incentive to both man and government to join hands and curb the overpopulation crisis in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria. Naija no dey carry last.